back to Unquiet You. Today I want to talk about a topic that I know I have felt multiple times throughout my life, and I know a lot of my clients and people that I talk to ask me this all the time when a relationship fails or when someone is mistreating them, whether it's someone that they love or just someone that they cross paths with. I mean, sometimes I have this thought about customer service or people in a store and how they treat the employees and stuff. But it's a question where you're asking yourselves, like, how can they be that way? How can they treat me this way? How can people hurt me purposely? Or when someone says something like, I hear this a lot, in a relationship breakup, like, how could they say those mean things to me? Or how could they walk out on me? I would never do that. Or how can someone treat me like I'm really, low, or I just feel, they made me feel really bad about myself, right? And I think a lot of times is we want to understand why someone does something. And I know for myself throughout the years, I've asked myself over and over, like, how could someone parent that way? How could you do that to your parent? How can someone do that to me? And I would try to answer it, and I would just get so frustrated because I couldn't find the answer. And what I came to realize is I'm never going to find the answer. I'm never going to understand what they're doing, and I'm never going to understand why some people do what they do. And I'm so grateful for that, because at the end of the day, I'm not that person. You're not that person. You're never going to be the person who can understand a certain type of behavior from people. There are certain personality traits that I have researched, I have studied, I have talked to so many people on, and I still do not understand why people do some of the things that they do. And the more I try to understand it, sometimes I actually think it makes me feel worse about myself, because now I'm getting mad that I can't understand, or I can't find a reason to why someone's doing something to me or to someone I love. And I just think knowing that there's going to be certain personality traits, there's going to be certain things that we were never meant to understand because we are not those people, is one of the biggest gifts. And sometimes I think back that, if I'm looking at this as a gift, how come everyone doesn't have this gift? And I don't know the answer to that necessarily. I think everyone's on their own path, and it's not for me to judge. But I think it's really good for us to, when we're in those situations, take a step back, be grateful for where we are and who we are, and that we are not those people. And more importantly, be grateful that we'll never understand it. This is one of the times where I actually don't ever want to understand it. I don't ever want to be like, that makes sense why this person treated me bad. Because the reality is that would make me have the same type of personality, or make me think it's okay to treat someone that way. And I never want to walk through life that way. So I see so many women literally will come to me over and over and say, I just don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And they're trying and they're racking their brain and they're feeling worse about themselves and they're staying stuck. A lot of times when women get out of relationships with certain personalities, they feel so stuck because they're spending so much time trying to figure it out. Like, why would someone do this? Or what did I do to make them do this? When in reality, there are just going to be some people that do this because this is their personality. And for them, they can justify it. And for us, we can't. I will never justify behavior that way. I will never allow myself to behave that way. It's just a really good reminder, like, the only way we're going to start moving forward and outside of these relationships is to stop trying to justify it, to stop trying to figure out the why. Remember that we are so grateful that we are not that person, and so grateful that that person is not a part of our lives anymore. That is when the movement of moving on is allowed. When you're able to say, I don't understand this because I'm not this person and I'm no longer going to accept that behavior, you have allowed yourself to step into the next story that you're creating, the next life that you're creating, the next to-do list, the next person that you want to be with, the next boss that you want to work for. We don't have to accept that behavior, but it's not ours to understand because we will never understand it. It is not who we are deep down. So I just want you to know that if you've been treated in a bad way, or if you've had questions along the way of like, why would someone treat me this way? What did I do? Just know that it is a very big gift to be so grateful that you are not that person. It is not your place to understand the why. You will never understand the why. I think this is something a lot of women struggle with too. They'll come up with an answer and then it's almost like they're spinning their wheels on that one thing and they're creating all these stories and they're trying to change that one thing when it was actually not about that one thing, because we don't know what it's actually about. We don't know what causes people to do that other than their own unhappiness, their own dislike for themselves. I truly believe the only people that put other people down are people that are not happy with themselves. So again, be grateful. You've been given a gift that you don't have the ability to hurt people and that you don't have the ability to confuse people. It is such a great gift to have. And I think the more we lean into that gift and focus on it, the happier we'll be in the long run. So thanks for listening and have a great day.
Thanks for listening, for being a little louder, a little bolder, and a whole lot more you. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you subscribed, left a review, and sent it to someone you think might need it. As always, stay unquiet.